The AI that never sleeps. It's 3:17 in the morning. The city is quiet. Office towers stand dark against the night sky. The last employees went home hours ago. The lights are off. The desks are empty. And for most of human history, that would have been the end of the workday. But somewhere, inside a massive data center, thousands of digital workers are still awake. They're analyzing data, writing software, monitoring systems, answering customer requests, researching information, preparing reports.
And by the time the first employee arrives tomorrow morning, some of the work will already be finished.
Not by people, but by machines. For thousands of years, every civilization, every business, and every economy has been built around one unavoidable fact. Human beings need sleep. Artificial intelligence does not. That may sound like a small difference, but it could become one of the most important economic shifts in human history. Because while most people still think of AI as a chatbot that answers questions, a very different kind of technology is beginning to emerge. A technology designed not just to assist workers, but to become one. These systems are known as AI agents, and they may change the way the world works forever. For most of the AI revolution, the relationship between humans and machines has been fairly simple. You ask a question, the AI responds, you request information, the AI provides it. The machine waits for instructions, then it stops. But AI agents are different. Instead of waiting for commands, they pursue objectives. Give an AI assistant a task and it might provide an answer. Give an AI agent a task and it may attempt to complete it. It can browse websites, analyze information, write reports, manage workflows, schedule meetings, generate code, and in some cases, carry out entire sequences of actions with minimal human supervision. The difference is subtle, but it is also enormous, because for the first time, software is beginning to move beyond responding. It is beginning to act. And some of the world's largest technology companies are betting that this is the next major step in the evolution of artificial intelligence. One example came in 2024 when a company called Cognition introduced a system named Devin. Unlike traditional coding tools that simply assist programmers, Devin was designed to function more like a software engineer. It could write code, debug problems, read documentation, and complete engineering tasks on its own. For many people, it was the first glimpse of something new. Not a tool, a digital worker. Around the same time, companies such as OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic began developing increasingly capable agent systems designed to navigate software, interact with websites, and perform complex digital tasks. These systems remain imperfect. They make mistakes, they require oversight, and they are still far from replacing human workers. But that may not be the most important part of the story. The important part is what they represent. Because the biggest mistake people make is assuming companies are trying to build a better chatbot. They're not. They're trying to build a workforce. To understand why, consider the economics of work. Every company on Earth relies on labor, whether it's customer support, research, administration, sales, or software development. Businesses ultimately depend on people performing tasks. And people come with limitations. We need breaks, we need weekends, we get tired, we get sick, and every night we go to sleep. Again, these aren't flaws, they're simply part of being human. But from a business perspective, they also represent constraints. There are only so many hours in a day, only so much work that can be completed, only so many people available to hire. Now, imagine a worker that never sleeps, a worker that never loses focus, a worker that can operate continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That possibility is one of the reasons businesses are investing billions of dollars into artificial intelligence. The promise isn't merely automation, it's continuous productivity. Imagine a research team supported by AI agents that spend the entire night reviewing thousands of documents. A software company deploying AI systems that continue testing and improving code while developers sleep. A customer service operation that remains active every hour of every day without interruption. In each case, work continues around the clock, not because humans are working harder, but because machines are working differently. And that brings us to a question that is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. What happens when the world's most productive worker never needs to sleep? For some people, the answer sounds exciting. For others, it sounds terrifying, because whenever a new technology emerges, another question quickly follows. What happens to jobs? History suggests the answer is rarely simple. The Industrial Revolution transformed manufacturing. Computers transformed offices. The internet transformed communication. Every major technological shift eliminated certain jobs while creating entirely new ones. But AI agents introduce a challenge unlike anything humanity has faced before. Because they are not replacing muscle, they are beginning to replicate aspects of knowledge work itself. Tasks that once required human judgment, analysis, organization, and decision-making are increasingly being shared with software. The impact could be enormous. Customer service and administration, research, software development, marketing, operations. Virtually every industry that relies on digital work may eventually be affected. That doesn't necessarily mean human workers disappear. In fact, the future may look very different from the dystopian scenarios often portrayed in science fiction. Instead of replacing every employee, AI agents may become digital teammates. Imagine arriving at work with an entire support staff operating in the background, an AI researcher gathering information, an AI analyst examining data, an AI assistant managing schedules, an AI specialist drafting reports, each focused on a different task, each working continuously, each helping you accomplish more than you could alone. In that future, the most valuable workers may not be those who compete against artificial intelligence, they may be those who learn how to collaborate with it. And this is where the story becomes bigger than technology. Because the real question is not whether AI agents will become more capable. They almost certainly will. The real question is how humanity chooses to use them. Will they free people from repetitive work? Will they unlock new forms of creativity and innovation? Will they help solve problems that currently consume millions of hours of human effort? Or will they create new challenges that society is not yet prepared for? No one knows for certain. But what is clear is that the race has already begun. Around the world, companies are investing enormous resources into building digital workers that can operate at unprecedented scale. Every year they become faster, more capable, more autonomous, and more useful. Which brings us back to where we started. A quiet city, an empty office, the middle of the night. For thousands of years that scene marked the end of the workday, a moment when human productivity came to a stop. But for the first time in history, intelligence itself may no longer be bound by that limitation. The first industrial revolution gave humanity machines that amplified physical labor. The AI revolution may give us machines that amplify intelligence itself. And if intelligence no longer needs sleep, then the world of tomorrow may never truly go to bed. The question is not whether that future is coming. The question is what happens when it arrives.